Americans are terrified of aliens. And there are many scary kinds. There are reptilians, there are greys, and there's this one kind that is really obsessed over invading America. And it's called immigrants. But don't be afraid. I come in peace. From Russia, with love. Today, November 17, it's a true story, is a very important day for America. America celebrates an anniversary of my first landing on US soil. I came to US in the 90s. Russia was going through a rough period at the time. Russia is going through a rough period always. But back then it was especially rough. It was cold. Winter in Russia typically starts in the summer. We don't use too many facial muscles when we talk. Some of it has to do with the specifics of Russian language, but mostly it's because 8 months out of a year, our faces are frozen still. Without the use of facial muscles, it's hard to describe a shoreline or a piece of bedding in English. Beach comes out as bitch. Sheet comes out as shit. Here at the beginning of pandemic, I had a flashback into the Russian toilet paper shortage in the 70s and in the 80s and in the 90s. But I'm a survivor. I got this. I can substitute. There's an abundance of useless paper in the US, like newspaper and freshly printed money. It's better than Russian solution, toilet paper recycling. I left Russia to escape communism, but now I fear communism missed me and followed me here. I call it the irony curtain. I didn't drive until I got here. And it's because I just didn't want to take the road test in the absence of roads and in a tank. America inspires me. When I drive here, I feel like I own the roads, and I own America. In Russia, I wouldn't feel this way. It's hard for Russians to claim ownership of roads in America. Putin owns everything. It's crazy because the only one who owns America is China. And I'm joking, of course. The only one who China really owns is Biden. Russians don't want to get vaccinated. Why should they? COVID doesn't stand a chance against Russian blood. And it's because Russian blood is 80% vodka. Russian mothers are obsessed with educating their kids, more than finding out what the kids really want to do in life. When these kids come to US, they discover freedom of choice. That's why you find a lot of strippers with a degree in engineering. I'm here 24 years, and I'm still learning how to complain. Americans complain a lot. Such crybabies. Here people complain about police brutality. The cop pulls you out of the car, beats you up, drags you to a precinct. In Russia, that's how they help you cross the street. I believe each complainer should get a free gift. One-way ticket to Russia. I recently went to Moscow. I packed all my warm clothes, even my fur coat, even though it was July. You never know. The weather was unusually warm, 45 degrees Celsius. That's 110 Fahrenheit. People were smiling. And it's not because it's typical for Russians to smile. It's because in such heat, with no air conditioning, their faces finally defrosted. I, however, was not smiling. And it's not because in such heat, I was still wearing my fur coat. I was just unhappy because no one would listen to me complain. Thank you. My name is NADIA SMIRNOVA. And God forbid if any one of you didn't like my act, I'm gonna use this neuralizer later to erase your memory.
NADIA!